Bayonetta 2 is my game of the year for 2014. No other title in recent memory has captivated and entertained me as much as this one has. And that's saying a lot, since I only started playing the Bayonetta series about a month ago, and I usually don't care for third-person brawlers like God of War and Ninja Gaiden. Not only that, but I didn't really care for the first Bayonetta either. Yeah, I gave it a B+ in my review, and I enjoyed its style and deep combat system, but there were a number of things I didn't like, including the lengthy on-rail shooter stages, boring minigames, flat colors, and endlessly wordy cinematics. While some of those things have carried over to its sequel, they've been stripped down and polished to a brilliant shine, resulting in a game that delivers a perfectly paced game from the heavens. The fact that we even have Bayonetta 2 in our hands is a bit of a small miracle. With Sega not able to take care of publishing duties this time around, Nintendo was the only company willing to step in and take a chance on it. Announced as a Wii U exclusive back in September of 2012, it immediately angered Xbox and PlayStation supporters. I remember being floored by the announcement, at first confused by the Wii U being its one and only home, but then excited that Nintendo did something that surprised so many people. As a company known for publishing mostly their own E-rated games, having the sultry Bayonetta grace their new system definitely made a big impact. Most importantly though, it gave the Wii U a serious action exclusive that can't be played anywhere else. Over 2 years have passed, and the wait was so worth it. From its opening moments, Bayonetta 2 exudes quality. The first thing that jumps out at you is the new, brightly vibrant color palette, replacing the dark, muted tones of the original. Everything pops and shines beautifully, with stylish cinematic sequences and an in-game frame rate that does its best to maintain 60 frames per second. It drops regularly due to the sheer amount of on-screen detail and chaos, but in my opinion, it's not bad enough to be a detriment to gameplay. There is no screen tearing or VSync issues to be found here either, which was one of my biggest gripes with the first game's graphical presentation. As a result, each frame of Bayonetta 2 is complete and an absolute treat for the eyes. The same qualities carry over to the free version of Bayonetta that comes packed in with its sequel. It's not just a simple port. It includes extras like the Japanese language track, Nintendo-themed costumes, faster load times, easier difficulty settings, and better performance. By all accounts, it's a definitive version of Bayonetta. The inclusion of the original game not only adds value, but is also helpful for Wii U owners who have never played the first one, giving them an opportunity to see how it all started and provides a baseline on which to compare its sequel. And make no mistake, Bayonetta 2 is superior to its predecessor in every conceivable way. Gameplay is sublime, and feels even better than the first game. It's the core of what the series is known for, and Platinum Games has taken what worked so well nearly 5 years ago, and has made it feel even more responsive, exciting, and fluid. New features such as the Umbran Climax, which takes Bayonetta's attacks and powers them up like a string of fighting game super moves, gives encounters an even more impactful and visceral feel than before. They're so crazy that they can sometimes obscure the action, so be careful. They can be a double-edged sword if you're playing to achieve perfect playthrough status. The controls are intuitive and responsive, with a heavy focus on dodging enemy strikes. Well-timed dodges will make the player enter what is known as witch time, which will slow down the action, temporarily make Bayonetta invincible, and allow her to build up her score in combos. The dodge offset technique also makes a return, which allows you to continue a combo string even after you dodge, as long as you're holding down an attack button. Additional moves, weapons, items, costumes, and accessories can be purchased from your pal Ronan. They can also be found or alchemized to further deepen your already robust arsenal. The Angel Attack minigame has been completely removed, and the drawn-out driving and flying stages have been replaced by shorter, more focused sequences, one of which conceals Bayonetta 2's most famous Nintendo Easter egg. Longtime fans of Platinum Games will be right at home with the scoring and ranking system here. Most of the game's chapters are broken down into multiple verses, and each verse is given a rank based on your combo, time, and damage results. Achieving a full combo, fast time, and 0 damage in a verse will result in a pure platinum ranking, the game's highest award. For hardcore players, getting pure platinum across all of the game's difficulties, including the highest infinite climax setting where witch time is disabled, will be the ultimate goal. For many other players, experiencing the game's story, characters, enemies, and environments will provide more than enough entertainment. While the story itself will give continuity error and plot hole seekers a lot to sink their teeth into, it does a decent job of building character relationships and motive. Unfortunately, like Bayonetta 1, many of the cinematic cutscenes are still overly wordy, and more often than not, I found myself rolling my eyes at the awkward dialogue and unnecessary exposition, complete with forced cursing.
What the fuck was that? Wait, who the fuck are you?
On the flip side, the action cutscenes are stylishly executed and a lot of fun to watch. They're all done in-engine, with the more highly detailed models rendered in 30 frames per second, and gameplay versions output in 60 frames per second. QuickTime events are still a part of these sections, but they have definitely been toned down from the first game, and feel less intrusive as a result. As before, sound effects play a big part in Bayonetta 2's gameplay, and in conjunction with bright visual indicators, cue the player in on when an enemy attack is being delivered, prompting you to dodge. Some of these attacks are easy to avoid, while others require near superhuman reaction times. Focusing on these is key to pure platinum rankings, and your survival in general. One of the most rewarding feelings in this game is focusing through all of the insanity around you, and in a zen-like way, successfully finishing a verse perfectly.
You've been naughty.
The music in Bayonetta 2 is as atmospheric and kinetic as the game itself, and like its predecessor, delivers a memorable selection of tunes that span a number of different styles. One of the highlights is a great upbeat version of Moon River, which is simply a perfect song selection for Bayonetta. Unlike Fly Me to the Moon from Bayonetta 1, Moon River is sparsely used, having a greater impact when you do hear it. In closing, I had a blast with Bayonetta 2, and continue to do so weeks after finishing it. There's just so much to do, find, collect, and conquer here, and it will keep action fans busy for a long, long time. It's not only one of the best action games to be found on the Wii U, but it's without a doubt one of the best action games ever made.